Over the last couple of days, we've been talking about the idea of change, the idea of doing things differently. Well, the reality is we don't change just to change. We don't do something different just to do something different. The reason we change, the reason we do things differently is because we think that there's opportunity. Someone once said of opportunity that we have to have the ability to see opportunity before it becomes obvious to everyone else. The reality is sometimes we're pretty slow at taking advantage of opportunities because we don't want to change, because we don't want to do anything differently. We don't want to learn things in a different way. So over the next few days, I'd like to talk a little bit about the idea of taking opportunities. That's why we change. That's why we do things differently, because we see an opportunity. If you will, let's today be in John chapter 4. John chapter 4, Jesus has just had a conversation with the woman at the well. As we pick it up in verse 27, it says, "At this point his disciples came, and they were amazed that he had been speaking with a woman. Yet no one said, 'What do you seek?' or 'Why do you speak with her?' So the woman left her water pot and went into the city and said to the men, 'Come, see a man who told me all the things that I have done. This is not the Christ, is it?' They went out of the city and were coming to him. Meanwhile, the disciples were urging him, saying, 'Rabbi, eat.' But he said to them, 'I have food to eat that you do not know about.' So the disciples were saying to one another, 'No one brought him anything to eat, did he?' Jesus said to them, 'My food is to do the will of him who sent me and to accomplish his work.'" And it's this verse right here in verse 35 where we get to the point I really want us to understand and to see. The other was just for the backdrop to get us to verse 35. Jesus says, "Do you not say, 'There are yet 4 months, and then comes the harvest'? Behold, I say to you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, that they are white for harvest." If we back up to where we began, he had this conversation with the woman. It says there in verse 28, the woman left her water pot and went into the city and said to the men, "Come and see." So, what the disciples would see as they looked out across there, they would see this field. And they would see that this field was 4 months from the harvest. But what was also in this field, or coming across this field, or beside this field, is these people that this woman had went in and said, "Come and see." They're coming to see. They're coming out to where Jesus is at. And what Jesus is wanting his disciples to see is that yes, there's going to be opportunity for that harvest in 4 months, but there's opportunity right now in the form of all of these people coming out to see. Since he says, "There are yet 4 months, and then comes the harvest. Behold, I say to you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, that they're white for the harvest." The harvest is now. The harvest isn't the crop that's in the ground, but the harvest is the people that's coming to Jesus. What he's trying to get them to understand is open your eyes. There's opportunity. And what we as Christians today, what we need to understand and what we need to do is we need to open our eyes and see that there's opportunity today. I thank you for joining me, and I pray that you have a great day and that God will be glorified in all that you do.